Now, if you come from such background and Jesus lifts you, there's no way you cannot be humble. There's no way you cannot remember where he took you from. Sometimes it's very easy for us to forget where he took us from. Sometimes we are even ashamed to talk about where we came from. Oh, we are very ashamed. We are very ashamed. Sometimes when we buy car, we don't want anybody to know that we ever bought a trotro. We talk our lives from when we bought car. We talk our lives from when we built a house. Not when I came to Spinters Road and I was a squatter. And frogs will not let me sleep by night. When it rained, where mommy and I were living, the whole place got flooded. Got flooded. We had to arrange stones and blocks and go like this. So you come from town, you had to come like this. I'm surprised I didn't fall. I think I had angels protecting me, especially mommy. I think mommy had 2 angels, carrying her through. And then sometimes when you are walking, you feel a movement in the water. One day I got up, I said, marine spirits have come around. Started praying about it. In the morning, some guys from Nima fishing from the water in the house. Apparently, I understand the type of fish when there's no mud fish, when there's no, during the dry season, they can get themselves into the distance and relax there and wait till water comes, and then they come. And we were hungry that day. We didn't have money. We hadn't bought anything. And they heard people fishing from the water. I wanted to claim the rights of the water. I was saying, hey, that is my pool. That's my pond. That's my pond. Nobody. If I got those ones, you just boil them, put salt on it. I remember when mommy was just taking seed of Kevin, we're in Teshi, and then the whole day we hadn't eaten, and we're believing God, and then somehow this man just passes around and brings us yams, and we had nothing at home except palm oil. And Ghana food, oto. I told mommy, do oto for me. And I was going to a Wednesday teaching service. I said, do it fast, let me just eat and go. I ate the oto. We didn't even have, it has to go with onions to give it a certain flavor. But we didn't have onions. We just did the thing like that. Then I ate it. Then I was just in the church, in the pulpit like this. My stomach said, boom. In the middle of the sermon, I said, shall we share the grace? In the middle after sharing the grace, I said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's go. We have come very far. And Jesus has proven to be Lord. Oh, yeah. He has proven to be Lord. And anyone that has the Spirit of God in him or her is a very humble person. You can't have the Spirit of God in you and be arrogant. You are humble. Okay. Now, learn from his submission if you want to become successful in life. Luke 22, verse 42. Father, if you are willing, take this cup from me, yet not my will, but yours be done. Yet not my will, but yours be done. How many of us can come to this place and say to the Lord, Lord, not my will, yours be done? Jesus, he has left his throne. He has seen the pain coming, seen everything coming. Lord, yet not my will, let your will be done. How many of you in recent times have ever gone before the Lord and said, Father, I want to do everything by your will. Not what I want to do, but what you want me to do. I want to know your will for my life. Has any of you ever prayed that prayer? I've shared with you my testimony of how I met mommy in the Bible school and how she bounced me in my first proposal to marry her. And for 2 years, I never saw her. And I was a very vibrant youth pastor. So I was quite an eligible bachelor. And there were a number of youth ladies in the church who I could have chosen from. But I always felt in my spirit that that woman, that lady I saw in Bible school should be my wife. And nothing less, nothing more. How I was going to meet her again, I didn't know. One midnight, I just got up. And I'd become born again at 14. I was a virgin. That's why I married Elio. I still felt that, Charlie, I have to know a woman. But I have to know a woman rightly and correctly. So one day I got up at dawn. I prayed. I said, Lord, not my will, let your will be done. Comes to my marriage, not my will, let your will be done. I prayed the whole night on my marriage. Just the whole night. Praying. Then that morning, Tuesday morning, we usually have meetings in my spiritual father's office. So I came to the office, we had meetings, we closed the meetings, hung around with my friends. Then the evening time, I said, okay, before I go to, there was never Achimota. Before I go to Achimota, let me go to Adabraka and say hi to my mom. The street I usually will not use. Somewhere, somehow, that day, that was the street I used. On that street here was Olivia coming. Olivia, where have you been? Long time, so I work here. Where? She showed me where you work. I said, tomorrow I'll come and visit you. Tomorrow I'll come. And I knew God has answered. So the next day, before going, I went to a salon and blew my hair. Oh, yes. Blew my hair, combed it very nice. When I went there to visit her, I said, Olivia, I was very confident. I prayed before, and God directed me. Olivia, how are you? She said, fine. You remember what we discussed in the Bible school? You told me you wanted to settle, find a job and other things. Now I've seen you have found a job. So I have come. Then she looked at me and said, go and barber your hair. Oh! What a calamity. So just from there, I went to a barbering shop, barbered my hair. Then the next day, I said, I will go. If this girl refuses to accept this, she will give me my hair back. So I went around the time they closed from the office. Greeted her, so I'm hanging around so I can walk this thing. And walking her from the center of Adabraka to Circle, I didn't even feel it. And I also didn't say anything again. If you have told me to go and barber my hair, that is it. We change your mind. So every evening I went to take her to this thing. Every evening we walk, and then she sits in the car, I do a bye-bye. And then one evening, somewhere I couldn't go, then she came to look for me. I think I wanted to see whether she was still interested. And then she came to look for me. I told her where I would be. I said, usually if you don't find me, around the time you close, I'll be here. So she came around and I was there. He said, oh, Gideon, you didn't come today. I said, oh, you are here, let's go. Then as she was moving, I did this at the back. She has come to look for me. The battle has ended. Fellow Ghanaians, the battle has ended. Now here we are. Here we are. Let his will be done. Like, but now I would have gone to marry some Jezebel, giving me Jezebelic troubles, Jezebelic killings. Oh, like when I come to preach, I'll be preaching bitter sermons. Praise the Lord. Today, the title of my message is Submitting to Authority. There are a lot of bitter pastors, and the bitterness are not caused by their congregation members. It's from, oh, Charlie.